Welcome back to First Chapter Friday. Today, we will be reading The Game by Linsey Miller. 2. 978-15-79126-247 Subject: The game begins. I am ready to kill or be killed. This email serves as the official notice that I, name here, am entering this year's round of assassins. I understand that I must send this email before midnight Wednesday and that I will receive the rules, my team members' names, and my target's name Friday at 12 p.m. The game begins Friday at 5 p.m. Wish me luck. Name here. This is it, Leah said. She added her name to the email and read it over one last time. Do you think we'll be first? I didn't wake up at 5 not to be. Jem launched herself off the bathroom counter and peered over Leah's shoulder. It's simpler than I thought it would be. Dramatic, though. Leah nudged Jem in the side. Do yours. We'll send them together. Every March, in the anxiety-ridden weeks before colleges sent out acceptance decisions, the seniors of Lincoln High went to war. The game was the last great equalizer before the seniors went their separate ways. And Leah, who had been planning her assassin strategy since 9th grade, who had color-coded it red in her planner, and who had never been the best at anything, had already hung on her closet door a practical pair of running shoes, a black t-shirt she only mostly cared about, and a pair of leggings that wouldn't feel like sandpaper if they got wet. Not that they would. She just liked to be prepared. Jem Hastings reporting for murder. Jem took a step back and raised their phone. This year, the invitation to play was taped to the back of the bathroom doors. Few teachers ever ventured into these bathrooms, and even if one did, every bathroom was the same. Powder soap dusted the damp counters, and inspirational posters decorated the dented stall doors. The invitation was a large poster of the white Lincoln High lion, overlaid with 3 concentric circles in blood red. At their center was a QR code. Assassin wasn't a school-approved event, but it was a tradition. Anyone who wanted to play would know what this poster meant. Scanned, Jem said. The email opened and they filled it out. 3, 2, Leah said, thumb hovering over the send button. It was only a game, but it was the game. It was hunting season for seniors. It was permission to stay out late with friends and teammates. It was the last chance for Leah to be good at something instead of being stuck in the shadow of her older brother. 1, they both said. The email sent. I hope we're on the same team, Leah said. Or else we had better get used to murdering each other. Jem snorted. Should I not have already gotten used to that? Leah and Jem had been best friends since 3rd grade, after an incident with the school-issued square pizza and May Barnard's face, and had been inseparable ever since, even though Jem's loathing for May had shifted to a crush this last year. Look at us. Jem spun Leah to the mirror and rested their chin atop her head. We're going to win. A crack in the mirror split Leah's long face in half and made her green eyes uneven. Behind her, Jem's tall, muscled form was split and squished. Their phones dinged with the same message. Hello, Leah Prince and Jem Hastings. Welcome to the game and happy hunting. The Council. Think this means we're on the same team? Jem asked. Maybe. Leah shook her head, rubbed the back of her neck, and picked up her backpack. It means that whoever the council is knows us well enough to assume we're together right now. You know, Jem said, turning away, even if we don't win, it'll be a good way to spend time together before next year. We'll win. Leah shook her head at her shattered image in the mirror. Jem won lots of things, best grades, theater tournaments, and test score competitions. The only award Leah had ever gotten was for attendance. I just wish the council told us everything up front. No one knew who the council was or how they were chosen, but the rumor was that it was 3 seniors handpicked by the previous year's council. Everyone in Lincoln knew each other and their deepest secrets, so Leah always had assumed that the rumor was true. The town was too small to keep such a mystery for so long. "I bet it's Gabbo," Jem said. "He loves stuff like this." Gabriel Gutierrez, math genius and theater nerd, was one of Leah's guesses for the council too. His older brother had won Assassin 7 years ago and had given him all his notes. Gabriel even had a hand-me-down tricked-out water gun. Mark, Leah's older brother, had placed 3rd but had never told her anything helpful. "Don't worry," Leah said. "The council always teams up friends, families, and crushes to keep the real fighting to a minimum." In the years before the council became anonymous and focused more on the teammate and target assignments, friendships had been ruined and relationships dashed due to assassins. "I hope we get May as a target," Jem said as they joined the crush of students in the hall. Seniors opened bathroom doors and tugged their friends inside. Leah kept an eye on the ones who vanished inside for only a minute, noting their names or descriptions. There were 317 seniors, and Leah had spent all last year figuring out who would play. She had been left with 50 definites. She had documented their daily schedules and which classrooms they were in this semester. Her journal was filled to the edges with names, maps, and by-the-minute timetables. Leah clutched it to her chest and wound her way upstairs to the biology lab with Jem. Jem opened the door. "Stalking everyone?" Leah waved her journal. "Not everyone, and it's all the stuff they say out loud. It's not like I'm following them home. Stalking makes it sound weird and illegal." Once the game was on and Leah had her first target, she would be following them home. But even she knew that sounded creepy. A student snorted behind Leah, and she turned. Faith Franklin was frowning at her, her eyes going from Leah's muddy shoes to the soda-stained journal in her hands. "Not legal prints," Faith said. She was always immaculate, from her pin-straight brown hair to her pure white tennis shoes. Definitely weird, though. Leah hadn't bothered documenting Faith. The girl hated games as much as she hated mess. Faith sat at the first bench in the biology lab and pulled out a bullet journal bursting with stickers and notes. Hannah, who sat behind her, pulled out some new calligraphy pen to show her. Leah dropped her journal and half-chewed pen onto the bench next to Jem. "She's so organized," Leah said. "I bet her closet is gorgeous." "Don't worry." Jem pulled out their work and grinned. "Once we win the game, nothing will be able to hold us back. We will be unrivaled." Leah laughed. "I don't think they give scholarships out for fake murdering classmates." In class, Leah had always been very, very rivaled. With AP exams looming and their fates soon to arrive in admission portholes, everyone took to the lab with as much liveliness as the day-old sheep eyeballs they were dissecting. At the next table, Devin Diaz, Leah's obvious crush since 7th grade, was the only one really following the steps of the lab and not just cutting the eye into tiny pieces. His fingers curled around the handle of his scalpel as if they were his violin bow, steady and sure of every move. He blew back his black hair, a touch too long and curling at the ends, out of his eyes and rolled his shoulders back. Devin was sharper than any note he had ever played, always wearing button-down shirts and dark jeans. He was put together and knew exactly what he wanted. All A's, pre-med, and no distractions, like dating. Specifically, like dating Leah. Near the end of class, Jem leaned over and whispered, "If Devin's our target, will you be able to kill him?" "Of course I could kill him," Leah said. already calculating how hard she would have to pull the trigger to let loose the least amount of water. But he's not playing. Did you ask him? Jem asked. You never talked to him. Yes. This was a lie. Leah hadn't asked him. She just watched him for months. They moved in similar but distant circles, and he liked talking about music and how math touched everything. Leah could listen to him talk for hours, and sometimes did when she happened upon him talking to someone else and she could listen from the other side of the corner or bookshelf. He had no interest in what she could talk about, escape rooms, games, and sometimes art, but he was always kind enough to listen to her anyway. He would nod and smile, nudging her to keep talking. He was too nice. And he always laughed at her jokes, no matter how goofy they were. I never thought you'd have the nerve, Jem whispered. Leah held up the small Nerf pistol, accuracy over deluge. She had started carrying in her bag Monday to get used to the weight. She didn't want any surprises come Friday. She sprayed Jem once, only lightly on the shoe, and a few drops of water splattered across the floor. Abby looked up from the book in her lap across the aisle. Leah shrugged and mouthed, "Sorry." Abby covered her laughter with the book as Miss Christie gathered their worksheets and took them across the hall to the classroom. I could hear you talking about me, you know, Devin said, turning around. He spun his scalpel across his knuckles like a pin. If I was playing, I would take you out first. And that concludes Chapter 1 of The Game by Linsey Miller. Thanks for listening.